Hi, welcome to this short but super sweet yin practice. We are going to start standing, actually, our one and only standing yin pose. It's called dangling. It's a lot like a standing forward fold. So you can come towards the top of your mat, and it could be helpful to have some blocks close by today. Let's just stand tall and we'll take hold of our hips. And if you want to get a quick full body stretch here, inhale. Exhale, the hands will come back to the hips. We're going to hinge from there and then just start to drape down. We're going to dangle here over our legs so you can let your arms go. If this feels challenging, if you want a little bit of support, you could always place a block or two underneath your hands just to receive some of that weight from your arms and your upper body. We're focusing on the exhale breath here as we're settling into this spot. Our knees are soft. Again, we have hinged deeply from our hips. Our chin comes kind of close to our chest. And we're just letting things dangle. So we're letting the torso dangle from the hips. We are letting the arms dangle from the shoulders. And we're inviting the head to just dangle from the neck. If this feels compromising, you can always take it down to a seated fold, so a caterpillar stretch instead. Just keep focusing on the exhale with the idea of welcoming a sense of gravity. It's gravity in time. That's how we find our depth in a yin practice. We're not forcing anything. We're not yanking or pulling ourselves into the pose. We're just coming to kind of a soft edge. So a place where we can stay long enough to reach to our deepest layers in the body, our connective tissue, our fascia. And in order to do that, we try to relax our muscles. We try to unclench and let go of our grip. And the breath doesn't have to be fancy. It doesn't have to be terribly deep, but we just know that it's there, and it's something that we can come back to at any point to help us out a little bit or to remind us where we are here in this moment on our mat. So the breath helps us connect more deeply, more intimately to what we are experiencing. It helps us calm down, so to let go again of some of that unnecessary grip and tension that we may not even notice that we have. It helps us let go of distracting thoughts and just brings us back into the moment. So anytime the mind starts to wander, or get bored, or wonder when we're going to switch, just bring yourself back to your breath. And taking just another breath or two here in this one. And we're going to step back into a dragon pose next, which is a lot like our kneeling lunge. So you could take the left foot back, guide it to the back of your mat. Try to align that front knee over the ankle and then let that left knee land. And we're going to do a few different variations of this dragon. So the first one is a high flying dragon. So we are going to stay up a little bit higher. So blocks could be helpful here, or you could always rest your hands on top of your knee. So focus now on the heaviness of that front foot, the back knee, the back leg, and the hips. So sinking into your own appropriate depth. That's the first element of our yin practice, is finding our appropriate edge. It's not our deepest stretch available right away. We want to be able to stay long enough for that shift to happen. And so we're just going about 40-50% of our stretch capacity so that over time we can find that subtle positive stress on the connective tissue, which will stimulate a healing response for the body. And when we have found our appropriate spot, the second element is stillness. We just let ourselves be here, be still, be soft. And we give into time, our final element. You may notice after being here for a little while, maybe about 90 seconds or so, you experience a phase change where there is a lengthening, a moistening, a softening of the tissues, and things just start to feel a little bit better. You might find a little more depth, a little more ease in your pose. You might settle in a little more. We're lubricating the tissues. So our next variation is going to be a winged dragon. So we can take our blocks to the inside of this front foot. We can toe heel open a little bit wider. So you can turn your toes off the edge of the mat. And we're going to add a little twist with this. So we're going to bring our hand up to that knee, and you can even let the leg kind of fall open. So wing it out a little bit and even roll to the outer edge of the foot. And then you just turn in and twist here. So we're just going to hold this shape, this variation for a little bit. You can notice where the breath is going in the body. Give you a little something to focus on. Just notice how it feels as it goes there. We're going to do one more variation of the dragon, so let's just take one more breath here. Then with the exhale, we're going to take both hands down to the ground or the block. We'll draw that knee back in a bit, so go ahead and lay the foot back down on the ground. And then we're going to try a low flying dragon, so definitely could be helpful to have some blocks to land on. You're not going to force anything. If you need to stay up a little higher, that's fine. You can go down against the ground instead of blocks if that depth is appropriate for your body. But with this one, think about drawing that knee back in towards the shoulder rather than letting it wing out like we had in that last variation. So these poses are all coming from that dragon base, but just some slightly different variations. So we can see what the subtle changes mean for our body, how they feel, and what's happening. Just try to differentiate between what might feel like a little bit of discomfort. That is okay and probably what we should be seeking in a yin practice, but we want to be able to tell the difference between that and pain. So we don't want any sharp or zapping or, really intense painful sensations in a yin practice. If that's the case, ease out, find a different shape, listen to your body. Good, so we're going to go ahead and climb up here back onto some longer arms. Let's reframe that foot, so go out on either side of the foot. Now we're going to try to slide this back knee in now so that we can actually sit back. And there's a couple different places. I'm going to turn just so you can see what's happening, but that front foot can either go right in front of the knee or it can go up and over. Okay, so see how that feels. And if that feels okay, we're going into shoelace. So you'll actually bring your ankle back closer, stack the knees. Now blocks can be helpful, or a blanket and propping up any extra space you may be finding throughout the body, or just go back to one of the previous options that I've already given you. Do try to wiggle down into your seat so that both of your sitting bones are grounded. Let's find some torso length here. So we'll reach up. And then with the exhale, we'll just start to come forward. And, how much you come forward, that's going to be up to you, of course. You can use your hands to help you anchor the hips. Just really wiggle down into that seat. There's a chance if you're coming down really close to the ground, you could always put a block there to receive the weight of your head. And just get nice and cozy in your shoelace shape, whatever that means for you today. We are going to add a little bit of variation to this one as well, but for now we're just coming forward to the place that's right for us today. Try to keep your feet relaxed while you're here. Then also your face and your fingers, your jaw and your neck and your shoulders. Just every once in a while, create a little body scan, a physical inventory, and see if some of the tension has crept back without you realizing it. That tends to happen. We tend to habitually carry stress and we're not even aware of it. And so that's one of the great things that a yoga practice can do for us. It can help us identify where we may be holding some of the unnecessary stress. And then, of course, we can let it go. Let's go ahead and come up out of this one. So this top knee, we're going to twist over it. So we're going to reach across it. We're not staying in this one too long, but we are going to add a little spinal rotation here. Try to sit as tall as you can here. So there is some effort involved in finding a long spine, but right alongside of our effort, we find as much ease as we can. So ease over effort here. Let's take one more breath in, and then with the release, we'll come back to center. Now the bottom hip, we're going to reach the hand up from that side, and then just add a little side bend. And again, we're not staying too terribly long in this one. Shoelace is our base, but we're just exploring and giving a little extra love to the spine up top. Good. And then we'll release out of that one. Let's untangle the legs and we'll come into a tabletop here before we get the other side. Let's kind of tent the table. So we'll take the hands and the knees out a little wider so that we can take some circles here. So circle around the pelvis, circle around the hips. Just kind of move your body around a little bit and see how you feel. There's no right or wrong way to move here. Give your body what it's craving, what it needs. You can reverse the direction of those circles when you're ready. Good. And then we'll bring the toes and the knees in line with the hips, hands in line with the shoulders so that we can take a downward facing dog. Same thing here. You're welcome to move a little bit while you're here. And then let's walk the feet back up towards that dangling shape that we started with so that we can set up the other side. And now we're going to step the right foot back and set up the dragon. So the first one is a high flying dragon. We'll drop that back knee. Might be good and helpful to have some blocks here close by. You could always use your own body though for support. You can support yourself on that top leg, knee, thigh area. So welcome the depth first. Get really heavy beneath the front foot, the back leg, the hips. But do then try to find some lightness, looseness, ease up top around the shoulders, up through the face and around the heart. You might even close your eyes while you're here and just try to feel the pose from the inside out. So a yin practice is like exploring the depths of the cave. If a yang style practice is climbing the mountain and really kind of intense and active, with a yin practice, we're going inside, getting a little more quiet, a little more calm, and just really trying to explore the depths now. We're releasing hyaluronic acid, synovial fluid, and just stimulating a feeling of healing and youthfulness for our beautiful bodies. from this high-flying dragon, we will go to the winged dragon. So we're going to bring the blocks, if you're using them, to the inside now. Toe heel open with the foot. Let the toes kind of angle off of your mat. And then you can even let your knee kind of fall out and the foot peel up if that feels okay. And then we'll add a little twist. So we're going to bring hand up to the knee, press there gently. So getting a little rotation up top. And see how that feels. Obviously, we have to work with that bottom arm to hold ourselves up, but you can relax the shoulder as much as possible, soften the elbow, keep yourself spacious up around the neck and the shoulder girdle. Let's take another breath. Good. And then we're going to come down to the blocks. So low flying dragon now, you can come down to your forearms if that feels okay. Let's start to draw the knee back in, place the foot back down, and just kind of nestle yourself down close to that leg, close to the floor. You can go completely down to the ground if that's available to you. Blocks are a great option, and just keep in mind your blocks have different heights, so you can turn them up higher, or you can always come back to longer arms too. Just a few more breaths here, a few more moments in this dragon. And then we can climb on up. So we'll start to walk the foot back in and then start to slide the back knee in. Okay, and then eventually you'll land in a seated spot and your front foot can either stay right on the inside of the knee or it can hook up and over. If you feel grounded and like you have more room to go, you can then slide it back here, and we're just kind of tying the knot of that shoelace here, wiggling down into the seat. Let's find some space up top, a big inhale breath, and then exhale to take it out. Press the hands down so that you can pull the hips back. You can drop the head forward, just come to where it's right for you. You could always prop up some blocks underneath your head if that's pleasing for your body. The fascia is all throughout our body. It binds and protects and connects our whole body, everything inside of us. It's found all throughout us, and it's all connected. So you may be feeling this pose in one particular spot, but know that it is providing healing for your whole body. Make sure that you're letting go every couple of exhale breaths. You're just checking back in, finding something else to release and relax. Good. We'll lift the head back up. We're going to twist over that top knee. So turn the body and just kind of stimulate that rib tissue and sit nice and tall, but drop the shoulders low and just breathe here, noticing the length of your spine and imagining the breath swirling the length of your spine. Good, let's release that. And then that bottom hip, we're going to take the hand from that side, come up and over, just checking in here with a side bend stretch. Nice, let's let that go. All right, we're going to go ahead and finish up now on our backs. So let's hug the knees to the chest and we'll just take a little happy baby check in here. And then we're also going to windshield wiper a few times the knees and the arms. So loosening back up a little bit around the pelvis, the hips, and the shoulders. So a short but sweet yin practice with lots of love for the hips and really the whole body. Find your Shavasana spot now, your pinnacle pose. It's the most important one. For the sake of the video, I am going to wrap things up, but I encourage you to stay and just spend some time here, recognizing the effect of your yin practice within your body. Notice how good it feels. Honor your body and enjoy some time in stillness. Thank you for joining me and trusting me to guide you.